Now, the House Republicans have subpoenaed a number of former federal officials and politicians, including Bill and Hillary Clinton. They're doing this in expanding a probe into Jeffrey Epstein. Adam, Bill Clinton may become only the fifth former president to testify before a congressional committee, and I'd imagine that would have a lot of questions about his relationship with Epstein and the number of times he was on that plane and the number of times he may have visited that island.
Yeah, as much as I would love to see him actually on camera answering questions, I doubt that will actually happen. Probably will occur is that he will be non-compliant to an extent where this will become more of a negotiation behind the scenes, which there's precedence for. There will be some sort of legal challenge, if anything. So will this possibly happen? Will the American public get on C-SPAN Bill Clinton answering questions about why he was hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein so much on these planes and why they were going to these islands and what was happening there? I don't think we'll actually have that show moment, although it would be absolutely spectacular if I was 100% wrong.
Adam, I think you're 100% right. Bill Clinton is going to do everything within his power to avoid testifying. Now, let's move along to Big Balls. Remember him? He made headlines before and he's made them again. Edward Correstein, the teenager known as Big Balls, who previously worked at Doge, was viciously bashed in DC by a group of thugs, and Donald Trump has had enough of the out-of-control violence in DC.
I have to say that somebody from Doge was very badly hurt last night. You saw that, a young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C. And either they're going to straighten their act out in the terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
Adam, is that just bluster, or do you think the president is serious about stepping in and taking over? Because crime in D.C. is a real issue.
Well, if he's serious about it, it's a good question. But I think first we have to find out, is it possible? So obviously he has the power to temporarily take control. Maybe under some emergency situation, he can do so. Civil unrest, he can do so. But as far as permanent control, the federal government taking over the police permanently, he would need congressional approval for that to happen. So there would have to be some sort of political might for this to occur. And obviously, there are optics to this. Are they taking away, the voice of the people who elected local officials to be in their positions, who elected their mayor, whether she's doing a good job or not, they still elected them. So there are a lot of concerns when it comes to that. Is he 100% serious about this? I don't know. He's often a man of the moment who says a lot of loud things because he's just responding to something. But this is still politics. And will he use his political capital to fight for this? I don't think so, at least not at this very moment.
Well, yeah, he is a man of the moment. We had footage of him earlier today on the roof of the White House. You don't see that every day. Before you go, we've seen alligator Alcatraz down in Florida, and now Indiana is getting the Speedway Slammer. Kristi Noem announced this earlier today, a new partnership with the state of Indiana to expand detention beds by 1,000 beds. They're pressing ahead with this agenda despite the abundant bad publicity. They're not stopping with this deportation program.
Yeah, well, the bad publicity is coming from the left-wing mainstream media. I think the Trump administration is doing something that should have happened with the Trump 1.0 administration, is that do the thing that the American public elected you to do, and don't worry about what the media portrays you as doing. Whether he tries to cater to the media, whether he tries to make it all shiny and smooth, it doesn't matter, because they're still going to smear him. The American public wanted Trump administration to take this seriously, and that's what they're doing.
That's exactly what they're doing. Adam B. Coleman, thank you so much for your time tonight.